against me. But there's also this issue of, I think I should also 1 minute talk about the issue of popular initiative.
That's right.
That it can be cheap. If it becomes as cheap as Dr. Matunga talks about, it's bound to fail. Because what will happen is, as he has put it, the last time when we were talking about the Punguza Mizigo, Kenyans heard about it when it was being taken to the counties. That meant that the Kenyans were not involved, isn't it? It was a one-man show, depending on his line of thought and the corner, the kind of thoughts that he prescribes to. Then certainly you don't expect such an initiative actually to go through. If it's a popular initiative, even if it's initiated by an ordinary Kenyan, but again, the definition of an ordinary Kenyan, who is ordinary? Not a Wanjiku cannot, certainly a local person cannot initiate. So it has to be somebody who is not as ordinary as we think. But then it has to go through the process of public participation. Kenyans to know about it. That cannot be a cheap affair. From what I had initially said, that you need to mobilize people. And if you think people will just come, try it, Dr. Green, you'll be surprised. The issue of integrity, before I conclude, I think I need to say something here. As Parliament, we make laws.
That's right.
We don't implement, we don't execute those laws. And there are some instances where the other arms of government now have really failed us, even where the law is very clear, you know. There are two cases I would want to quote here, and I think they're in public domain. One, there is one case which went through the court process. It took over 10 years of a certain civil servant in the education sector, and it was proven that he had misappropriated over 100 million shillings. But the court then, in its final judgment, he was fined 14 million or goes to jail. If I've stolen 100 million and you fine me 14 million, will I go to jail? I'll simply pay the 14 and keep the 86. You know, those are some of the things that when it comes to the issue of integrity, let's just not pin it down to what the parliament can do and what politicians are doing. It cuts across. And it cuts across because whoever sits in the judiciary is also a Kenyan.
That's right.
Whoever sits in the DPP's office is also a Kenyan. EFCC's office is also a Kenyan. If we were to do stock taking at one time, even Professor Pio Lumumba was in charge of, it was not EFCC, then it was called Kenya Anti-Corruption. You see, how much did he achieve at that time? Because he's dealing with Kenyans. He's not in an he's not in an island. He's dealing with Kenyans. You take it to a court, you take it to the DPP. The DPP says that it doesn't meet the threshold of taking it for prosecution. It's taken back and all that. So at one point, we just need to appreciate that we are in Kenya. We are all Kenyans. We are not as bad, but we can be better. That is what my summary would be. Let's not think that it's so gloom that we not proceed or we can't breathe. But certainly we can make this Kenya better, and it's Kenyans to make it better.
Let me pick from that last statement. It is